in the house Dr. Joe. And it's always, you see, I'm excited. I'm always excited to have him. And I'll tell you why I'm excited to have him. And then, you know, we are starting a series on detox. So this is not just going to be the first one, but we are honored to have him start this series with us. And the series with the detox, we are going to be looking at the different facets of detox. You know, how to do detox in a way that is that it's easy. We are going to look at how to do it if, you know, using herbs. So in 2 weeks time, we are going to have a herbalist, kind of, I don't know, is a medical doctor, but is also trained in herbs. And we are going to have him come to talk to us about the different herbs about detox. Also, in about a month's time, I'm going to be talking about, yes, your good self. I'm going to be talking about mental, you know, detoxing the mind. So looking at detox. So we're going to be looking at detox from a very holistic perspective. So I don't want you to miss any of the detox series. So today we are starting with Dr. Joe and giving us an overview of detox, and then is the CEO of Asiva and Align Life. And I met him a couple of, I think 2 years ago. And it was I would say, a divine meeting, because I met somebody that he helped transform his life. This person, you saw him on one of our programs. This person had been on the wheelchair for about 2-3 years. He had been having over 10 seizures in a day. He had been to all the best hospitals. Talk about Johns Hopkins, Mayo Clinic, University of Chicago Clinic. Just talk about the big names. He had been to all those places, and it was, you know, they could not find a solution to him. And then he met Dr. Joe, imagine, in a restaurant. And then he listened in into their conversation. And by this time, this young man was in the military, was really thinking of, my life is about to end. And then he met Dr. Joe, and then he said, can you help me? And Dr. Joe said, okay. You know, he's so nice. He says things like that. Okay. Just like he's helping me. Okay. And can I help you? And can you help me? And Dr. Joe saw him for 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, I mean, the first 2 weeks, this guy was out of the wheelchair swimming, and he was also, his seizures had gone down. And so that was I was excited to meet him, because I'm always excited when I hear good things. I was excited to meet him and to see how we can work with him. And your good self brought him to Nigeria in 2019, and we are bringing him back to Nigeria in 2021. And then we are getting him to work with us. So please listen to what he has to say. He has good stuff. But before I bring him on, I have a short video that I want to show you, to share with us.
There's a factory inside you that weighs about 1.4 kilograms and runs for 24 hours a day. This is your liver, the heaviest organ in your body, and one of the most crucial. This industrious structure simultaneously acts as a storehouse, a manufacturing hub, and a processing plant. And each of these functions involves so many important subtasks that without the liver, our bodies would simply stop working. One of the liver's main functions is to filter the body's blood, which it receives in regular shipments from 2 sources. The hepatic artery delivers blood from the heart, while the hepatic vein brings it from the intestine. This double delivery fills the liver with nutrients that it then sorts, processes, and stores with the help of thousands of tiny internal processing plants known as lobules. Both blood flows also deliver the oxygen that the liver needs to function. The blood that is received from the intestine contains carbohydrates, fats, and vitamins and other nutrients dissolved in it from the food you've consumed. These must be processed in different ways. In the case of carbohydrates, the liver breaks them down and converts them into sugars for the body to use as energy when the filtered blood is sent back out. Sometimes the body has leftovers of nutrients that it doesn't immediately require. When that happens, the liver holds some back and stacks them in its storage facility. This facility works like a pantry for future cases when the body might be in need of nutrients. But the blood flowing into the liver isn't always full of good things. It also contains toxins and byproducts that the body can't use, and the liver monitors these strictly. When it spots a useless or toxic substance, it either converts it into a product that can't hurt the body, or isolates it and whisks it away, channeling it through the kidneys and intestine to be excreted. Of course, we wouldn't consider the liver a factory if it didn't also manufacture things. This organ makes everything from various blood plasma proteins that transport fatty acids and help form blood clots, to the cholesterol that helps the body create hormones. It also makes vitamin D and substances that help digestion. But one of its most vital products is bile. Like an eco-friendly treatment plant, the liver uses cells called hepatocytes to convert toxic waste products into this bitter greenish liquid. As it's produced, bile is funneled into a small container below the liver called the gallbladder before being trickled into the intestine to help break down fats, destroy microbes, and neutralize extra stomach acid. Bile also helps carry other toxins and byproducts from the liver out of the body. So as you can see, the liver is an extremely efficient industrial site, performing multiple tasks that support each other. But such a complex system needs to be kept running smoothly by keeping it healthy and not overloading it with more toxins than it can handle. This is one factory we simply can't afford to shut down.
Woohoo. Indeed, I like the way that ends. This is one factory we can't afford to shut down. Dr. Joe, you can share your screen, if you want to. But so I started with showing us the liver. And you remember when we started this journey, one of the things I did was talk about the liver and the fact that our body has a detoxifier. Whew. Oh, that is a good word, detoxifier. Our body, meaning that toxins will come in. But the challenge, as Dr. Joe will show us, is that sometimes we are overloaded. The liver is the biggest organ in the body. In the intestine, apart from the skin. Amazing job, filters everything. Did you see that? Even the toxin is converted and used by your body. Our body is amazing. Even the things that are supposed to be harmful will be converted and sometimes used, to help our body and then thrown away. But then sometimes our bodies are not able to do this effectively because it's either the toxin is too much or we are not in the best state of health. So, Dr. Joe, can you tell us, why we need detox? So I know that your presentation is going to be telling us why we need detox. What are the natural ways our bodies detox? What are the natural foods that can help us detox, and then the various detox modalities, and then you also tell us about the detox program you have set up. So, and sometimes I'm going to be coming in for clarification to get people to really, because I know that you might be blowing some big scientific grammars. I might come in from time to time to break it down a bit, just like the liver does. So, go on. You are on.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about detox. It's something I studied for about 25 years, helping people kind of uncover toxins in their body that they had no idea has been storing in their body since they were a young child. And the concern with toxins is it's a very silent process that occurs in your body. That you're 8 years old running through a stream and you have energy and you're absorbing pesticides in the water. And then you get older and you're using plastics in your food and you absorb this plastic in your body. And then you eat this food with pesticides, and then you put makeup on with chemicals, and then you use detergents that have toxins. And then slowly, as you get older, you get a little tired. So you don't wake up in the morning and say, "Good morning, God." You say, "Good God, it's morning." You start changing because your energy is dropping, and then you start gaining weight because of toxins. And then your mood, you get irritable and anxiety and depressed because toxins affect your hormones. And then you can't sleep at night because toxins affect sleep hormones. And then you bloat and you can't digest well and you get stomach aches because toxins affect digestion. And then you don't know what to do, and you take a drug and then another drug and then another drug. And then you follow the conventional American model of sickness care, where you get sicker every day and take more and more pills. As I've said in the past, it's time to go back to the Nigerian culture of years past, where we understand how the body works. We live off the land. We do eat God's food. We have deep breathing. We do the natural things that create health within our body. So I want to start out telling you a story of why one of the cases I had that got me interested in toxicity. And the exciting thing is we want to do a detox challenge with a large group of people and guide you through a process to help you remove a lot of this stuff from your body so you can experience not only better health, not only optimal health, but optimal health, great health creates a great life. All of us want to experience greatness in life, the most potential that we can accomplish in our lives, and it requires an optimal state of health. So I had a guy come into my office, a young guy, and he's 35 years old, real happy, go lucky guy, a lot of energy. And he walked in the office and he went to shake my hand, and he grabbed his other hand to shake my hand. So I didn't know why he did that, but I found out he couldn't raise his hand. So he grabbed his hand like this and he went like this and shook my hand. And it took me a little while to figure out what he was doing. And he says his arm doesn't work very well. So we're checking his body, and 3 weeks later, he can't raise his other hand. So he couldn't move either arm. A month later, he couldn't walk up the steps. He had to walk up backwards. And he's 30 years old and he's getting worse and worse and worse. Well, I had just started to learn about toxins. So I collected urine to see how many toxins he had in his body. And the day before I got the results back, he was in bed. Again, 35-year-old guy, beautiful wife, 3 children, and he fell out of bed on his back. And he couldn't roll over because his muscles didn't work, and he suffocated and died at 35 years old.
Wow.
The next day, the test came back, and his body was full of toxins. He was a farmer, so he has heavy metal toxins from working with the equipment. He had pesticides because he sprayed the pesticides. His body was full of toxins, and no one knew what to do. In another case, I had a woman come to me just under 40 years old, and she was a single mom, and she had 2 kids, and she had no one to watch the kids last minute, so she brought the kids to the appointment, and she had terminal cancer. I didn't want the kids in the room, but she's crying, telling me that she has 90 days to live. She has cancer in her bone. She has cancer in her lymph. She has cancer in her breasts. She is covered in cancer. She has 60 days to live. So she's crying. I'm crying. The kids are crying. We're all crying, and she has 60 days to live. Well, we found she had toxins in her body, and we did the program I'm going to show you today. And 10 years later, she saw her children graduate high school. 12 years later, she got upset with a boyfriend, and she started smoking cigarettes, eating a lot of sugar, and she died 6 months later. So my point in telling these stories is that if you're suffering from less than optimal health, if you have fatigue, a little depression, some weight gain, some inability to sleep, you're just not feeling good, your energy's off, you're irritable, you have anxiety, all any of these things, before you pop pills or doubt your body's ability to heal itself, you have to dive into your exposure and things that are stored inside the tissue of your body that aren't supposed to be there. It would be like me taking your car and open up the area where there's oil and just put a little water in it. Or take the windshield wiper fluid and maybe put some syrup in it. Or take the gas tank and maybe put some apple juice in it. you just can't put bad things in the wrong spots. And your body should not collect toxins in the body because it will make it work poorly during your life, and it'll end your life earlier than you want it to end. So the good news that we talked about last time, if you were on for the inflammation talk, I hope you guys were on. If you were on for the talk last time, I'm going to open up the chat. So guys, if you can see the chat on the bottom, if you don't mind commenting and when I ask you questions to keep this engaging. How many people here would like to eliminate one symptom or another that you're dealing with? Are we all optimally healthy, or is everyone dealing with a little bit of less than optimal health? If you have less than optimal health, just tell me yes in the sidebar. I just want to know if we're only dealing with the perfect healthy people, or are there people that need some yes, good. So there are people that are dealing with some symptoms on the line. Great, appreciate that. So the good news, Pamela need help. Nikki, yes. Folate, yes, great. Dr. K, yes, great. So what we're saying good news last time, I want to celebrate a little bit. The good news is that in Nigeria, Alzheimer's rate is low. Here in America, it's rampant. So high five to Nigeria. We also said cancer rates are not growing at the same rates that they're growing in the US. Another high five for Nigeria. But some of the things we are dealing with in Nigeria in the research is we have a 20% increase in hypertension. We're having more and more people dealing with death from strokes, starting to scale over 17%. Diabetes, almost 3-time increase in diabetes. This is the downfall of health right here, guys, is that our bodies aren't able to regulate our sugar levels. When you have toxins in your body and your hormones are weakened, you don't feel as good. You have infertility, you have impotence, you have anxiety, you can't sleep, all from hormones. It makes us crave sugar because sugar makes us feel better, right? We don't eat sugar because we're hungry. We eat sugar because our brain is missing hormones. And then we create diabetes. In 8-year period, we had a 40% increase in obesity. You're nowhere near the obesity we have here in the US, but you guys are moving towards that direction. This is from the World Health Organization talking about Nigeria rates of obesity. The other factor is there's over 15 million Nigerians suffering from depression and anxiety. A lot of what these topics I talked about last time, we were talking about inflammation. But the other big cause that no one's telling you about, that you're not dealing with right now, is a cause of toxins in your body. So what I want to do is show you some ideas on where these toxins, how they could be getting in your body, and then give you some simple solutions and things you can do. And then we're also going to talk about an exciting program that we're launching in Nigeria, in the US, in the UK, and really soon in Australia. And that is the Detox Challenge. So we'll go over that towards the end. For those of you that want to team up with your family, friends, colleagues, and stay motivated, on track to help all of us remove these toxins from our cells and our brains and our livers and our guts, we're going to talk about a program to do that. So my question is here is, where are we getting our toxins? How do toxins get in the body? So please, in the chat, tell me where they're coming from. What do you guys think? Please chat it in the box below. If you don't know where the chat is, there should be a bar on the bottom and say chat. So where do you think we're getting toxins from? Excellent, from the environment. Yes, there's a lot of toxins coming out of the environment, from pollution, from foods, from products. I don't, Dr. Kuyinu, I think you invite a lot of the smart people here because they're all right. These are all the right answers. Yes, food, environment, makeup, hair products, water. Wow, you guys are brilliant. Foods and drinks. Yes, 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 all of that. So anything you put on your skin goes into your blood and into your brain, anything. So you've seen the birth control patch, right? Those little patches they put for birth control on the skin. A little thing this big controls birth control. What if you covered your entire body in creams from, I don't know if they have it in Nigeria, but in America, they go to Bath and Body Works and they buy these scented creams. And you look at the ingredients, and these ingredients have, the word is this long and there's 9 commas in it. That's not natural if it has 9 commas in it and the word is this long. That's a chemical. So when you're buying things, you want it to be natural ingredients because it goes through the skin in your blood. The water, right into your tissue. The insecticides, yes, yes. And we're going to talk about that. So my next question is, now that you guys know where it comes from, where can we go? If we were to leave Nigeria right now and say, I'm going to the safest place in the world, no toxins, where would you go? Tell me in the chat, where would you go for the safest place in the world where there's no toxins? Doesn't exist. Heaven, nowhere. That's great.
And
so they were looking in the Himalayan mountains where there's no way to get there by helicopter. And they pulled vegetation from the top of the mountain that you can't get to. And there were pesticides on the leaves. Because the pesticides come up in the jet stream and travel across the world and dump in the rain all over our plants. They went to the North Pole and they dug 20 feet deep into the ice cap and they found pesticides. So there aren't places where there's no toxins. So what we don't want to do is get paranoid and worried and scared and not go outside. We don't want to be in a place of fear, but you have to be in a place of awareness. You have to understand that the things you eat, the water you drink, the stuff you put on your body has toxins, and you have to instigate a program to continually pull out toxins every year. Whether you do it with some foods and things we tell you, or whether you do a program that we have put together, you have to decide what are you gonna do each year to limit the toxins that are being stored in your body. You can no longer ignore the fact that you're exposed to toxins. Ignoring it will not create a good outcome for your health. So the most, Dr. Joe, we have quite a few. Oh, you do have some great, so I heard we have a lot from the US here too. Great. So I'm going to be talking some Nigeria, some US, so that you guys understand in your environment what you're exposed to. I'm going to talk about the most common toxin here in the US, okay, for those that are in the US on the call. The most common toxin here, and I'm sure it's exposed in Nigeria, but probably not as much, is something called phthalates. The pH is silent, so it's phthalates, or also known as styrene. So my question is, for those in America that are on this call, what percent of humans in a study in the US had this cancer-causing chemical, styrene, actually in their bloodstream? What percent do you think? 10, 20, 50? What do you guys think? What percent of people? Someone throw me an answer. 78%, 80%. Wow, you guys are close, really close. 60%. It was 100%. Everyone in the study had plastic. Phthalates and styrene is plastic. Had plastic floating around inside their blood. 100%. In fact, it was so much that the US government gave you an allowance. Now you're allowed to have 210 micrograms ingested in your body every day. It's now an allowed amount. Isn't that silly? So what do these chemicals do in your body, these plastics? They're called environmental endocrine disruptors. It's a big word that just means, and someone said in the ocean as well, yes, yes, yes. The ocean is full of plastic now. It's going to start killing our ocean animals, the different fish and whales and sharks. Very, very scary. So they're doing programs now to try to the floating plastic by trying to get it off of the ocean. So anyway, they disrupt your endocrine, which is your hormones. Again, back to the same things: fatigue, depression, anxiety, insomnia, irritability, you name it, impotence, infertility, all of these things from simple plastic. Moving on, like, where are these plastics? When you smell new vinyl in a car or a new thing that you bought, that's plastic that you're inhaling. Your mattresses have this plastic, your computer has plastic, your purse, your automobile, plastic wraps on containers. If you smell it, it means you absorbed it because it went in your nasal passageway, in your blood, into your brain. So those of you using like Tupperwares, like plastic stuff, try to use glass. So all of mine are glass that I use. If I heat it up, I'll use glass. If I put it in the fridge, I'll use glass. It's easy to see what's in it, but you don't want to be using plastic. It's so bad that in the US, they have, you buy a yam or a sweet potato wrapped in plastic. They tell you to poke holes in it, so you're poking plastic into the potato, and then you stick it in a microwave, and the plastic goes from the potato inside because you're melting plastic on the food, and then you eat it. So that's the best way to get ovarian cancer. It's a great way to get uterine cancer. It's an awesome way to get prostate cancer, is to ingest plastic. Looking in your home, more toxins you're exposed to in your house than you are in the environment. Your carpet spills off many, many toxins into the carpet. I mean, into the air, 200 different toxins. Your furnace, your humidifiers and air conditioners can spill off mold into your home. Your bedding can have, there's fire retardant, so it doesn't light on fire. It has something called antimony, which is a heavy metal that is dangerous for your body. Your clothes, your air fresheners, all of these things. Now, I don't want to be such a negative conversation, so I promise you 2 more slides and we'll get into some positive.
What we can do.
But you have to know that the things that you're around, you have to be aware of them so you can make little changes.
Yes.
So when you're buying carpet, you can unroll it in your garage and let the chemical come off before you bring it in the house. If you use a dry cleaner, you can take the plastic off in your garage and let it air out before you stick it in your closet or your kid's closet with all the plastic that you smell. That causes cancer. You don't want to do that. Air fresheners. Use some citrus. Blend up lemon. Put it in a squirt jar and put water and have citrus smell. Don't use chemical air fresheners. When we talk about water, water should not have any chemicals in it. It shouldn't smell. It shouldn't have a taste. It shouldn't need any chemicals or additives or anything to make it better. Water should just simply be water. And the 2 chemicals they add to water, one is fluoride. That damages the brain, causes brain cancer, birth defects, lowers your IQ, your intelligence, and causes many different issues. They're putting fluoride in infant formulas here in the U.S. and in juices, so kids are getting a high level of fluoride in addition to the tap water. Chlorine causes aging, elevates your cholesterol, causing heart disease, causes rectal and bladder cancer. These 2 things are added to water. So it's very important that you drink clean, filtered water, okay? Why are they adding fluoride and chlorine? They add fluoride because the concept is to protect your teeth from cavities. That's why they put fluoride in. But they're not thinking about you swallowing it. I'm okay if you gargle with it, but you're actually drinking it. And your liver should not have fluoride. Your eyes should not have fluoride. Your brain should not have fluoride. So you should not be swallowing water with fluoride in it. And they're adding fluoride to your drinking water. The reason they back in the 50s or 40s, they when they make fertilizer, a byproduct of making fertilizer is fluoride, and it's poisonous. So they have to pay a lot of money to have that taken away because it's a chemical, it's a poison. So what they did is they figured out a really small study, and they said, hey, this will help people. And they started selling the poison to towns around the world. And that's how it started. It's not really the right thing that you want to be putting in your water. Chlorine kills bacteria, so that's why they add it to the water. And they're just adding more and more and more chlorine. So you want to make sure you're drinking filtered water. In Nigeria, here's a study from dental fluorosis, meaning you have so much fluoride in some areas in Nigeria that you see the kids with those white speck marks on their teeth. That's from so much fluoride that it speckles the teeth. And this is a study showing that 26% of municipalities, areas in Nigeria had too much fluoride. So you want to drink filtered water, not the city water. Other areas of toxins is mercury. Mercury is very damaging to the brain. You get that through silver fillings in your mouth, vaccinations, and fish, especially things like tuna. There's no safe level of tuna with safe levels of mercury anymore on the planet. It's full of mercury. Andrea asked, why are they adding fluoride and chloride? I'm not trying to get off track here, but here in the US, they have legalized marijuana, and I was told that this manufacturing drug has over 400 chemicals. Can this lead to brain cancer and other types? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Is vinegar okay? Yes, it is. To use as an air freshener or neutralizer. Very good. Yes, yes, yes. I like the vinegar. Very smart. Very smart. Healthy. Cadmium's in cigarettes. It's in food and fertilizer. It's a heavy metal. It's very toxic. Lead is in paint. It's in pollution. It's in hair dyes. You got to be careful of that. Aluminum. Baking powder has aluminum. Juice boxes, you give your kids those silver juice boxes, that's aluminum going in the water. Thermoses, they make out of aluminum. That goes in your water. Aluminum cookware. All of these things you have to be cautious of. The last one I'll talk about, and then we'll talk about things we can do, is the pesticides. Okay? Things that they spray on the vegetation, the farming, the agriculture, and some that have lawns, and you spray on your lawns. They cause what you call dead-end neurological diseases, like that gentleman who couldn't roll over and he died. Diseases where your nerves just stop working, and no doctor knows what's causing it. What do you think they do when researchers are studying rats with disease? If a researcher wants to study Parkinson's, he gets a bunch of rats with Parkinson's, or he gets a bunch of rats with cancer, or he gets a bunch. How do you think they get 500 rats with cancer or 500 rats with Parkinson's? What do you think they do to get those? You think they put an ad in the paper asking for rats with a disease? How do you think they get rats with disease?
They inject them with chemicals.
They inject them with pesticides and they get the disease. So the same chemicals they're putting on your food, they inject with an animal, and they know they can give cancer to an animal in 2 weeks by giving it a certain amount of a pesticide. They know they can give Parkinson's to a rat by giving it a certain amount of chemical that they're putting on your food. So we have to be really careful eating foods that are full of pesticides. And if you are, sometimes we can't avoid it, then you have to do things to get that stuff out of your body.
Dr. Joe, can I quickly say something here?
Yes.
Somebody might be asking, then why, if we are all being exposed to this, why does it affect some people and it doesn't affect some people?
That's a great question.
Why do some people have cancer and some do not have?
That's a great question. So, and finishing that last thought, and that'll answer that question. Here's an article on pesticide usage and poisoning in Nigeria. So to answer that question, I'm trying to think of an analogy I can use. Why is it that all of us could stand on a line, drink the same water, eat the same food, and run 1,000 feet, and some of us are going to be there quickly, some of us are going to take twice as long, and some of us won't even make it across the line? Why is that? Dr. Kuyinu.
Oh, you want me to answer? Oh, constituents, genetics, what we are born with, so many different factors.
Same thing.
We are all not, we are, as much as we are alike, we are so different in what we bring into the world and where we are, even where we are starting from.
Yes, some people are born with a mom who was healthy. Some people are born with a mom who wasn't healthy, so we didn't get the right nutrients. Some of us have genetics that aren't as good. Some of us are sedentary. We don't exercise. Some of us eat a really poor diet. So I'm not telling you you're all going to die of a cancer. I'm telling you that your risk is going to go up exponentially if you ignore the fact that there's toxins. Now, some of you have great genes, eat well, you exercise, you have low stress, you have a great diet, and you may not have much of an effect. I promise you, you'll have some effect, but it may just be fatigue. It may not be cancer. It may be headache.
But the dangerous part is that, you know, even if you don't have it, if you have these things in your body and you have children, you can transfer it to the next generation, and they start off wrong. You know, they start off weak because you might not get anything, but then it goes into the next generation because it's from your gene pool, it's from what you have stored that you give to the next person, to the baby.
So what we don't want to do is be paranoid and all this stuff I'm telling you. We don't want to be scared. We want to do the opposite and be empowered and say, you know what? We can't ignore toxins. They're never going to go away. So why don't we drink good water? Why don't we eat healthier? Why don't we exercise a little? And why don't we make little tweaks, just little tweaks to our lifestyle that can help us eliminate toxins and still live a fun, enjoyable life? We don't need to make changes that are hard to the point that we don't enjoy life, because guess what? We're going to be exposed to toxins. Yeah. So I want to show you how it works inside your body real quick. Is that your liver, this organ here, is like Dr. Kuyinu said, it's one of the largest and biggest organs, about 5 pounds, almost 5 pounds in weight. It's pretty large. So it's interesting how the liver works. It's like a filter. There's different pathways in here. So a drug may go into this thing, this liver, and come out the other end, and now be able to come out your urine. There may be a pesticide coming here and get processed and now come out your feces, your stool. You may have another chemical coming here and it may come out the other end and be able to come out through your skin, through sweating, perspiration. So this thing, this organ here, is like a filter that makes all these toxins able to come out of the body. The issue is most toxins are what they call fat soluble. So they store in your fat. Makes you get bigger and bigger and fatter. Your brain is fat, so it loves your brain. Who wants toxins in the brain? None of us. But your brain is fat. Your fat tissue on your body stores all these chemicals. So what this thing does, this liver, is it makes that toxin water soluble so it can squeeze right out your urine. It can come out your feces and come out your sweat. That's what we want it to do. So there's different pathways. And what I used to think a toxin would come into the liver and the liver would break it in half into small pieces and then it would like come out through the body. I used to think it would dissolve it or break it up. That's what I thought the liver did. But the reality of what the liver does is the liver has a toxin come in it and the liver binds a nutrient to it. And now it's water soluble. And then it can come out your body. So every toxin that comes in your body, guess what your body needs?
Nutrient.
It needs a nutrient. What if you have a lot of toxins and not a lot of nutrients? Then the toxin gets stored in the brain, in the tissue. So when you run out of nutrients in that liver and you keep having these toxins coming in, you better have the nutrients to attach to it to get it out of your body, or it's going to store in your fat. in your brain, in your heart, in your tissue. So the issue is the liver can't handle it anymore because our planet is being dumped with too many toxins. That's the issue. So we have deficiencies in the liver. So the program I created 20 years ago is called the Ultimate Body Cleanse. And it's a cleanse program where it gives the liver everything it needs to allow this stuff to not store, to actually come out through the body. And we're going to be doing a program on this, but I want to show you, I think I missed the slide. I'm sorry, there's a slide not showing, but I want to talk about it. I want to give you the things that you can do, okay? The slide's not showing, but I want to talk about it. Here's what you can do. There's two ways to approach this. You can do some free, easy things at home, or you can do a very scientific cleanse program that we created that you would do in a group, and you will get all the different things done to help your body get rid of toxins. To do on your own, free, easy. First thing, drink your body weight in half of your body weight in ounces of water every day, throughout the day. If you're not urinating throughout the day, you're spilling out toxins. You have to urinate throughout the day. So what does that mean? If you weigh 200 pounds, drink 100 ounces throughout the day. If you weigh 100 pounds, drink 50 ounces a day, okay? So you want to drink in the morning when you wake up, 8 ounces of water at least when you first wake up, when you go to work, during work, at the end of the day, when you get home. So you want to space it out so your body can continue pushing it out. The second thing you have to do is you have to eat enough fruits and vegetables so you have a lot of fiber. The fiber grabs toxins and pulls it out of the body. It actually binds to fiber. Healthy fruits and vegetables you want to eat every day. More vegetables than fruit, so you don't have as much sugar. And you want to have that be pulled out of the body. If you do not have the fiber, you store more toxins. The fiber also helps you move the stool. You should have a bowel movement at least twice a day. There's many patients that come in haven't had a bowel movement in 5 days. That feces, that stool, is sitting in your colon full of toxins, full of toxins. Here's the stool, here's the colon, and all those toxins are going right through the colon back into your blood. Mm. You're reabsorbing all those toxins, and that causes cancer and other diseases. You must have a bowel movement at least once a day, preferably 2 or 3 times every day. So the other thing you need to do is you need to be aware of the toxins, some of the things I told you today, and be aware of it and make little tiny changes so that you don't keep putting so much toxin inside of your body. Those are the 3 things. Water intake, half your body weight in ounces. Second, fruit and vegetable intake every day to make sure you have normal bowel movements. If you don't, you can use some herbal remedies to keep the bowels moving. And you can take magnesium to help the bowels continue to move. And the third thing is be aware of the toxins you're putting on your body, you're breathing in, and you're eating, and do your best to slowly start to reduce that exposure.
And I think, Dr. Joe, that is so crucial in all of this, because we've spent a lot of time trying to show where you get the toxin from, not to scare people, not to scare you, not to make you think that this is a death sentence. It's just to create an awareness for you to become aware so that you are not living in this false paradise, as we put it, to say our world has changed. It's no longer, as it used to be. A lot of chemicals, a lot of things are pumped out, and so being aware and you making the choice for your own health. Nobody else is going to make that choice for you. You make the choice for your health and decide that I'm not going to be like a stooge for all of these chemicals. I'm not going to for all of these manufacturers. I'm going to decide on what I allow into my home, into my body. And it's step by step. You might not be able to make all these changes, you know, all at once, you know, but when God sees, you know, when you are making a definite change, you are saying, I want to reduce. You might not be able to eliminate all your plastic all at once. And, you know, I like being realistic because I still have some plastic I use, but I'm gradually changing and making sure that I have more, I have more glass jars. And then if I have to, I avoid as much as possible going near the microwave, honestly. And then if I have to, I try to make sure that I don't put plastic inside it. So you begin to make informed changes. You know, you look at your products, you read the labels of what you are using. You look at your hair products, you know, you try to go as natural as possible. Years ago, I said, okay, my hair, you know, relaxers and all of that. So you start reading, you start reducing, looking around you. You know, what are the things, what are you putting on your body, the kind of soap that you are using. So you become more conscious and you care more for your body and for your health and for those of your children, so that gradually you begin to exchange, put in the right thing. And as you do that, and as he said, you eat this food, you eat the right nutrient to bind the toxin that are stored, because for some of us, toxins are stored. You see the belly, around the thigh, around the arms, we see all this fat. The toxins are stored. So exercise, Dr. Joe, you didn't say that. You know, it's important too, because that's how you burn those fats. And when you burn those fats, you release the toxin. Keep your joint moving, keep your body moving, let the sweat come out. When we do that, we're also helping to release toxin from the body. Just like I said, the next talk, we will look at some herbal, you know, we are looking at some herbs, some foods, some herbs that you can put in regularly to help detox. And then we'll talk about mental detox. Okay, Dr. Joe, can you talk a bit about, before we quickly take questions and answers, questions. Can you talk about, I know that you have this ultimate body cleanse, and I have used it. I actually have my box here. I have used it, and I remember going on the 10 days, and it was lovely. My body felt different, honestly, and that's why I'm interested in it. Okay. Yeah. So yes. Did you see mine?
No.
Oh, my box is still here. Can you see it now?
Yes.
And it was awesome going through it for 10 days. And so you quickly want to talk about I think you have a challenge for us. So quickly, can you talk about that? And then we take some questions.
Excellent. So the Ultimate Body Cleanse is designed to do what I was mentioning early, is help the liver have the nutrients it needs. So when you have the toxin, you bind it to a nutrient. It has the nutrients in it. It has the nutrients to heal the gut lining so that the toxins don't go through your gut lining. It has the nutrients to kill the parasites that store in the body, which is a form of toxins, parasites from the foods we eat. So we kill the parasites. We fix your gut. We support your liver. We remove the toxins. And it has a process of the foods that you eat during it to make sure that you allow your body to get rid and take the toxins out of the body. It's the same program we use with the woman who had the breast cancer, lymph cancer, bone cancer, that lived over a decade longer when she was told she had 60 days to live. But it's not designed for cancer. It's designed to remove toxins so your body can be healthy. Now, it's something that for people that want to get serious about detox, but it's not something you have to do. What you have to do is drink the water. You have to eat the vegetables. You have to be aware of the toxins in your body and in your environment and slowly start removing those. If you want the next level, you have to take certain nutrients by mouth in a program to get the next level of removing toxins. So if you don't have a lot of symptoms, you feel great, you exercise every day, you have low stress, you eat healthy, it may not be designed just for you. But for those of you on the call that are overweight, they're tired, depressed, anxiety, cravings, poor diet. This is a program that will help you and guide you and keep you accountable to do something that creates an outcome, which is removing this stuff from your body. It's important for those that are obese or overweight to realize toxins store in fat cells. So if you want to lose weight, you detox first, doing the Ultra Body Cleanse, then you start doing the exercise activities and stuff, because now you can shrink the fat cells. When the fat cells are full of toxins, your body doesn't want to shrink them, because then the toxins go into your blood. It doesn't want to do that. So it'll slow your metabolism down and keep you overweight. Even if you're exercising, eat well, and say, why can't I lose weight? It's because the cells of the fat are full of toxins. You have to detox first if you want long-term weight loss. So if anyone wants to do this program, we are doing a group cleanse where we have a code for the US and then we have a code for Nigeria, a discount code. Only because I love Dr. Kuyinu and her work in Nigeria, I want to help all of you in Nigeria get some discount if you want to do the program. Our goal is to do the program together in 3 weeks from now. Together means on day one, we all do day one. We're all going to get the right foods. We're all reading the manual. We're all starting. And then we'll get on a forum online and we'll post how we're doing, how we're feeling, and any questions. I'll be speaking every day, day 1 through day 10. It's a 10-day cycle, and guiding you through the cycle. So if anyone wants to do the program with the rest of the group, you just go to asiva.com, and here is the program. Now, the good news is it's a 30% discount on this program. We do have individual nutrients, as we said last time, at a 50% reduction for 60 days. But this program is also reduced 30% off for those in Nigeria. Code, and you can put this in the, I'll put this in the sidebar here.
The code is DREC10. Dr. Joe has put together, we are so excited that he wants to do this, and we talked with him. And so for those in Nigeria, you can DREC10. The program is in 3 weeks time, and so the box has to come into the country within the next 2 weeks. So if you want to do it, you go on his website, you put in DREC10, DREC 010, and you are able to get 35% discount if you're in Nigeria. If you're in the US, there is a different code. You can reach out to us. I'm not sure. I will have to find out.
I have it I put it in the chat, Doc. It's in the.
Okay, yes. For the US, it's 15% if you are doing this program. It says it's UBC 15 for the US code. And so if you want to do this specific program and it's going to be working with you every day, teaching things, I think this is amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Joe, for offering to do that and for offering to do the discount. The website is www.asiva.com. The website is there. That's this product website, www.asiva.com.
Do you desire total health and wellness? Do you want to improve your relationship with God? Do you desire a happier, healthier relationship with yourself and others? Do you want to have a better control of your health? Would you want to be a part of a group working towards the same goal? If your answer is yes to some of these questions, then you are a candidate for a WAM challenge. This is a 12 weeks wellness mentoring program with people of like mind. During the training, you will be exposed to the following and much more: better dietary plan, stress reduction strategies, how to increase body and joint mobility, how to have healthier relationship with yourself and others, meaningful quiet time with God, act of spiritual discipline, strategies for healthy living, how to become a wellness advocate. Join us in this exciting, life-changing 12 weeks mentoring program. This is a journey you won't regret. To learn more, go to wam.theeducatorng.org and register for an information session. Thank you.